The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships, or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
I want to be more of something. You see, we use this word so much. More of this, more of that. But have you ever really asked yourself, what does this more even mean? What does being more of anything really mean to you? Does it mean you're less than before? You see, I did a recent post where I asked some people, like, what is one habit they would, if they could change any habit, what would that habit be? And what would they want to change? And they all came back with several words. These are the words that I listed above, but I decided to look up the definition of more. Like, what does this actually mean? And I wanted to go through this from the dictionary standpoint. But then I want to go through from an experience of what more really means. So what I have actually experienced versus what the actual dictionary says. Now, the facts are of the dictionary, it says a greater quantity, a greater number, a greater amount. So it's greater of something. You use more to indicate that something or someone has a greater amount of quality, a greater amount of quantity, which is more than average or more than usual. You use more to indicate that there is a greater amount of something than before, or average. Now, when I listen to this, these feelings begin to come up for me, and oftentimes when I hear people say, I want more, I get frustrated. I oftentimes feel like it's a filter, or it's an exaggeration of what someone really wants. And let me explain this a little bit, because I often get annoyed that there are no real facts when it comes to this. There are no real facts or evidence that suggest more of something is actually more. I feel like people just say it to make themselves feel better. Like saying I want to lose more weight feels better than just declaring what the actual weight is, or saying I want to make more money by just me simply declaring what and how much money I want to make. It makes it sound better to myself. But if I say I want more money, does that actually have a greater impact on me versus being clear and specifically of how much money I actually want to make? Because the story that often comes up from people, if you ask one step beyond this, is, well, what would that more look like? And they often stop there and they're like, I don't even know. But what if more was just a story someone says when they're afraid to make a commitment? What if more was just a filtered down commitment that sounds better or sounds like it means something better? What if more had very little power in it? Like, there is very little power in more, because I want more of something means it's hard to even put a finger on what exactly that means, because oftentimes when you ask people, well, what would that look like? They stop in their tracks on, okay, well, I guess I don't even really know. And so if I say I want to make more money versus I want to make money, what if in between that was just being very specific? Because oftentimes when we say I want more money, I don't actually know what that is. I want to lose more weight. We don't actually know what that is. And so when we get more specific, when we get clarity on what that actually is, then it actually begins to carry power. Because one of the biggest problems I see is we run around saying we want more money, more weight loss, to be more consistent, but we have no idea the next step in that process, which is to get very specific on what that means. It's a filter to what we truly want. It's an excuse to not get clear. And society has made it okay to say that we want more of something. It's a block that gets in the way of making a true commitment to the amount of money you may want to make, to the amount of weight you may want to actually lose, and it gets in the way of declaring a specific habit that you actually want to be consistent with. At the end of the day, filtered words will give you filtered results. And more is nothing more than a filtered down word, a watered down result. By simply describing you want more of something, you will rarely get more. Even if you did, the time that it matters the most is when you get specific and you make a commitment so you could really measure if you got more of something or not. And so this all begins the process of going from a general statement to getting specific. And when I can get specific, I can begin to measure if I'm getting more of something. And so I want to challenge you today, instead of using more, instead of when you say, I want to make more money, I want to lose more weight, I want to be more consistent, stop yourself and ask yourself, what would that actually look like? And begin to describe what it is that you truly want. Maybe it's a certain amount of money. Maybe it's losing a certain amount of weight. And maybe it's a specific habit you are looking to begin doing. And what would happen if you became very specific in that place? Because there is so much more power when you make a bold commitment in your life, whether it's about money, whether it's about weight loss, or just starting this new habit. And when you can make a bold commitment, there's a lot of power that comes with that. And I find that when people are very specific, it gives them a target to aim for. When they come in with this more, it's just a description of a story, a nice to have, not a must to have or get to have. You see, bold commitments come with bold results. Stop letting more get in the way of you actually declaring what it is that you truly want. Take a stand. Take a stand for once in your life and just declare what it is that you actually want. Because if you can do that, you can begin to move forward. If you stay stuck in the land of more, you're stuck in a generality place that you're just going to be wandering around aimlessly. And so today I ask you to take a stand. Take a stand against more, and to take a stand against being very specific about the money you want to make, the weight you want to lose, and where it is that you actually want to be consistent. The end. That's what I'm taking a stand for. I'm taking a stand to no longer say more and to be very specific about what it is that I truly want, because the more specific I can be, the more that's backed up, that I just say more, that's backed up with power. Because when I actually say that, it doesn't really make me feel better, like there's something that I'm standing behind. And so taking a stand on being specific, taking a stand on what it is that I truly want, instead of putting more in front of it, means that I'm that much closer to getting that. And I can declare that, and I can receive that, and I can stand in a place of power owning that. So I want to thank you guys for being on here today. And if this message resonates with you, I would love for you to be one of our next case studies. If you're looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in our Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me, Jesse at habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have a great day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse